How's it going, guys? Everyone leave when PK shows up? Alright, bet. Why even stream this late if you're only going to be on for an hour? I mean, it's this or Doom Scroll, so what's the difference? So I'm already awake. So, you know, it's either lay in bed on my phone or, you know, just live stream. Because I'm not going to go to the gym like at 5:30 in the morning. There's nothing to look at that time, but yeah. Thanks for stopping my doom scrolling, I guess. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, I mean, realistically, that's all I do, so I would just browse Instagram, which is not good. Because then I'll end up spending money. Beast and Reincarnation, I actually like, so. Is it an original game? No. It's pretty much just Nier and Stellar Blade repackaged yet again, but it's actually pretty fun. I like it. Well, I was glued to my phone all day. Dude, my screen time is pretty scary for most people. Yeah, my daily average screen time for the past week is 13 hours and 43 minutes. So, yeah. I'm constantly on day phone. If I didn't work a hard trade, I would be on my phone all day during work. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, even if I'm working, I have like a video or something playing on my phone, or I have eBay open or whatever. So, yeah, I just forgot to charge it today. So, the alarms did not go off as usual. It was dead. Griff, admit you're gay. You're 30 and haven't had sex with a woman. It's clear you don't like women. Okay, well, by that logic, I'm 30 and I haven't had sex with a man, so obviously I can't be gay, so therefore I'm straight. So, I don't know. Not really the best logic, bro. I've just been using my PS5 to doom scroll YouTube. Oh, damn, man. It's the only thing I use it for besides Black Ops 2. But you could use it for Black Ops 1. I don't know, is that one hacked too? Bill her with the 10. Really
7 inches? That's
Thanks
pretty
so
big.
I'm sick, coughing like a motherfucker, making sleep harder than it already is. Shit, taking antibiotics. Been like 2 weeks now, no change, but hey, I can talk, so at least I have that. Yeah, that sucks, man. I'm sorry to hear that. You got the flu or something? Well, I guess if it's the flu, you're not going to be taking antibiotics because they don't do anything for viruses. But either way, bro, that blows. Sorry to hear that. That's no fun. I've had those, like, multi-week long illnesses in the past, and they fucking blow. Pneumonia? That sucks, yeah. That is brutal. Well, I hope you feel better soon, man, at the very least, but yeah, that sucks. No fun. Shopping for Pokemon? Well, dude, that's what I do most of the time on my phone, so looking for deals. Yeah, it could be, I don't know if it is, but it could be bronchitis too. If you have that really, like, deep cough in, like, your lungs. I've had a really bad case of that before, and they give you, like, a breathing machine where you have to, like, basically inhale vapor of, like, some drug, and it tastes like peroxide, basically. That one sucked, too. You had to breathe into the machine for like an hour each day. Said I might have that too. Did a chest x-ray today. Yeah. Well, at least, you know, I guess silver lining, if it is bronchitis, it's pretty easy to get rid of once you start doing the machine. But yeah, it's shitty. I remember I had it when I was like 8 really badly. I was at my grandma's house for the summer, and I had to have like one of those machines. Yeah, I finished Splatoon Raiders. I didn't do like the endless mode and stuff yet, but yeah, I finished it. Doom Studios with the 249, DSP's computer is done and your phone died, sad week. Well, luckily it was just the battery, so I just forgot to plug it in. So, no battery, no alarm, so yeah. But, nah, my phone's still chugging. I'm probably gonna get a new phone because I just got a scratch on the screen and I don't know how it happened, but it really pisses me off every time I see it, so I will probably be updating my phone this year to the new model of whatever. 18, I guess it is now. So. But yeah, I've got like a scratch, and I keep thinking it's like a dog hair on the screen. And it's really like pissing me off. And the annoying part is I didn't even drop my phone, so I'm guessing it was like my dog's collar or something, because it's like the only metal that would have scratched against it, but I don't know. But yeah, it's like triggering my OCD, so no point in paying $200 to get him to pop the screen off and then also swap the battery. I'll just get a different phone at that point. Nah, iPhone screens are really easy to scratch, bro. You drop them once on like your car floor mat or something like that, they're all scratched up. I mean, they're definitely more resilient than they were in the past, but yeah, the iPhone screens are pretty scratchable. I don't like screen protectors. I already don't like using a case, so using a case for me is already a pretty big ask. No, they use like that sapphire glass or whatever the fuck they call it. Yeah, they have like their own thing. What's bad about cases? Well, there's like nothing better than the naked feeling of your phone. Like phones feel good in your hand when they don't have a case on, and then you put a case on and then they're like bulky and rubbery and I don't know. But yeah, once I make enough money, I will never use another case. It just feels so much nicer. I don't know, like the cool metal against your skin. There's something very primo about it. Read this article that using a phone without a case is a sign of wealth. Yeah, just like the Indians washing their face with Starbucks. Because they can just buy a new phone. Yeah, exactly. It's been 2 weeks without a Raymond reaction, but that guy still crashes out about you almost daily. I'm betting he's the reason for GG clips getting... Nah, I don't think so, man. This is just a problem with clip channels, and it's a YouTube-wide policy where, you know, they started demonetizing unofficial clip channels across the board. So, nah, it's not anything to do with Raimundo. It would be a copyright strike if that was the case, but no, this is just a YouTube automation thing. Because the channel's content didn't get taken down, it was just demonetized for reused content. So, yeah, it's a completely separate thing than reporting something. So, yeah. I haven't watched anything with Ray either, so... There's that one channel left, but I think that's it. Every other one's been nuked. This one, and he hasn't uploaded for 6 days. Brutal. Yeah, he's struck down anabolic. I still love that title, man. A house nobody wants and a wiener nobody wants to suck. That's crazy, bro. Amanda should have been mine. God. Dry coffee drunk. Never ask her, dude. He, oh my god. Oh my god, bro. That's brutal. You know, I would say maybe it's all an act, but I don't believe it, to be honest. I think he really is that unhinged. I think Raymond is the perfect example of what happens when a normgroid fails to launch. You know, he's a failed normie at his core. He tried to fucking chameleon his way into every social circle throughout his life, failing at every opportunity, and now here he is, all alone, with nothing. We can watch Anabolic's new video. He has it on Rumble. I don't know if we watched this one or not. I don't think we did.
This isn't right and left anymore. They are stoking a very real race war in this nation.
Did we watch this one? I don't remember. He talks about the race war so fucking much, dude. Mr. Colorblind himself.
Over this Shiloh Hendrix stuff, and every other chance that they get, they stoke the racism. Now, obviously, I am avidly anti-violence, and I disavow any kind of actionable anything. Do not assemble.
Yeah, we watched this one. I remember this clip now. Yeah, don't ever do anything, guys. Just give him more super chats, aka Nick Fuentes.
Is this shit? Constant.
Raymond's deep V-neck. That's an elite name, bro. That's an elite name. We already watched that one, PK. I'm not rewatching an hour-long Raymond video.
I'm bald, my ass is hairy. How do you know my ass is hairy?
Well, I guess it is.
Holy
My ass is not hairy, just in case anybody was wondering.
crap. And then the entirety of Sinaguso's chat is the same thing. Just constant. It does make you feel tired. Makes you feel weak. There's been
Yeah, it's kind of weird, bro. Like, every other part of my body's hairy except my my ass. It's kind of an anomaly, I guess. I don't know.
no. Then how he was just getting off on the dry drunk definition reading, as if he's never heard that term. Oh, I've never heard that. No, never. I've never heard that. Oh.
No, Schizo, there's a huge difference between subbing to PewDiePie and assembling. So, no. Let's not get carried away here. There's a big difference between something like Patriot Front and, you know, subscribing to PewDiePie. And you know it too, so don't play dumb.
Supposedly had his own addiction issues in his youth. The reason they keep coming after me is because I never denounced Christ. I'm not a perfect person.
Oh my god. Are you shitting me? That's right, dude. If he just renounces Jesus Christ, all of this will stop. Are you fucking shitting me? That's right, Raymond. They want to burn you at the stake. But your faith shall not fucking falter. Good lord, bro. Like, yeah, he wants to be crucified upside down like fucking Saint Peter? What the fuck is this shit, man?
And like everybody, I'm a sinner, and I've got problems. Wrestle with all sorts of things. But they never attacked other people that do the exact same thing I do the way that they attacked me. Not even close. claims he's never heard about being one himself. Well, here's the thing with the dry drunk definitions. It's so ostensibly vague, and then you read the actual definition of it, and it's just like how a typical man reacts to bullshit. You ever notice that? Almost all of that man up bullshit is all the stoicism, all that other crap. It's all about making sure that you sit down, shut up, and stop talking. Your feelings and your awareness, and you noticing inequities, and you noticing unfairness, you noticing somebody trying to get one over on you. You're not allowed to be upset about that. You're not allowed to bring that up. You're not allowed to say anything. You're supposed to be stoic. You're a dry drunk. If you get upset about someone saying one thing and doing the exact opposite, or somebody snaking you or stabbing you in the back, or hiding and unhiding things in your own chat because they have moderator status, which is the real reason he lost moderator status in my chat, is because he would unhide things that were obviously fed baiting, rage baiting, that my other moderators were hiding. And it was always stuff that was from like dark Brandon coded channels, which again, I invite you to review his avatar on YouTube, which is extremely dark Brandon coded.
Yeah, that sums it up perfectly. Schizo retard. That's right, guys. The avatars are of a similar art style, therefore it must be the same CIA-funded Texas A&M research group. Like, what the fuck is this shit, man? Shaka Shaka Gaming with the A. Griffin, admit you're diabetic. I'm not diabetic. Like Raymond, also Raymond isn't the problem. He's a sweet man who's misunderstood. Well, now's your opportunity to change his, lot in life there, Shaka Shaka. So, go help your boy out.
If you look at it, it's fucking dark Brandon. It's the same style.
That's called AI. Holy fuck, dude. It's called AI. Is he really that, like, fucking crazy that he thinks AI generated images are all, linking people? So everyone with an AI generated image is it's basically the same entity? Holy shit, bro.
It's the exact same style. And I don't think that
Maybe the data centers have fried his mind.
channel even exists anymore. Yeah, it's the same
Will Griffin find a woman before Raymond? Probably not, man.
thing. It's the exact same thing. Oh, apparently they have a new channel. But they have that stupid Rico channel.
Dude, what the fuck?
It's the same style.
No, it's not. Oh my, dude, this is like actual schizophrenia.
Same style.
This guy is like actually fucking schizophrenic.
No. I think it's the same people. I really do. Receipts for the quartering in Raymond. I missed that one. And he admitted to clipping me constantly. For what purpose? And he's all about his moral high ground. And that's the biggest thing with these people. Is they have all these gotchas, these like politically correct, socially correct, popular little gotchas about like what's right and wrong. And I should feel bad for wanting to, like, I don't know, live. And that's their big thing. Anabolic's big dildo fuck right now is about how I used to say, I don't want to, like, I want a chance at living. I just want to live. And of course, he compiles this mashup of me literally expressing human emotion. Men are not allowed to express human emotion. You're not allowed to feel anything. You have to be completely even keel all the time.
You're the one who said you were stoic. That's what stoicism is not showing your fucking hand when it comes to your emotional state. SNK Nostalgia with the 2. No sleep till Brooklyn. Hell yeah, man. Appreciate it. What, the Dark Brandon guy? Yeah, he's just some lib cuck, but,
Fine. You have to never crash out. You're never allowed to be upset. Never allowed to cry. They'll spend hours clipping you and re-editing you and compilating you to the point where you are humiliated. Your personality destruction is complete. They'll use your full name. They'll post your address in the descriptions. They'll put your social security number in comments. They'll make sure that you know that they have every piece of information about you. Because I made no other sin than saying I wanted to live. And that's how you know these people are anti-life. They're anti-human. They're anti-you. Because you say you want a piece of the pie. You just want to exist. You want to play fair and have an actual equitable outcome for your effort. You want some equity in the game of life.
Oh my god, dude, he's using leftist talking points now. Equity? Oh man. Okay, here we go. Is he getting back on his Bernie LARP now?
You want to put some work in and get a fucking reward out of it. Instead of...
Why do millennial men get so upset that the world doesn't want to hear them squat, piss, and moan about their problems? Because, you know, their boomer parents, you know, despite LARPing as these hyper-emotionally in-tuned individuals, didn't give a shit about them for the most part. And as a result, millennials are the most whiny, attention-starved, desperate for validation group of people within the country.
2% of the new jobs in the last year and a fucking half. 2% of the new hires went to men in the last year and a fucking half. 2 American men. There was 4% was H-1Bs. 94% went to women. But you're the problem. You saying you want to live, you want to play the game of life and actually get, like, I don't know, a 10%
says the guy who's not even looking for a job.
Payoff rate? That's why men are shutting down. Because of how I was treated. You look at the totality of everything that has happened to me for the last 2 years. And the outcomes of my effort for the last 5. Since I started trying to get my crap together. It's nothing but ridicule, mockery, harassment, degradation. Total and complete reputation destruction. They've made it clear that I'm going to have to beg on my hands and knees to get a job. To try to have any kind of life. That I'm never going to be able to move. That they will do nothing but harass and harangue me nonstop, 24/7, 365.
He could very easily move, but...
And I read their comments and they say, oh, he doesn't understand what he did. His horrible, abhorrent, disgusting personality. He doesn't understand. He doesn't understand. Should I check the replies on that tweet? Oh, here we go. More Google verification text messages. Again, look at 52 responses to a Bible verse. 52 responses to a Bible verse. Jesus Christ. That's all you have to say to rebuke a demon.
What was the quote? Therefore, I take pleasure in infirmities and reproaches and necessities and persecutions and distress for Christ. Yeah, he's basically labeling himself as a fucking martyr for Christ. Dude, this is such a LARP. Stop. You knew that shit was corny when you posted it.
Jesus Christ. That's all you have to say.
Wait, I refuse to disavow Jesus Christ. Who the fuck cares about you disavowing Christ? What are you, Joan of Arc over here now? Meh, such a martyr. I'm so moral when I'm a racist, misogynist, scumbag. Wah. Brutal, man.
Jesus Christ.
I'm sorry, dude. You are not some religious martyr. Stop. Come on. Yeah, he's bald Jesus, exactly. He's the Jesus for the incels, guys. Forgive them, for they know not what they do. Ness and K Nostalgia with a 5. My niece divorced and is telling me that she is gay. Uh-oh.
Alright,
what
awesome.
the fuck,
Thanks,
dude?
nigga. Right.
I am serious. Family is a disaster. Yeah, that's not good, man. I'm sorry to hear that. That's crazy. This is the same one that had the DUIs, right? Yeah, that sounds like a mess. Hopefully things work out, bro. But yeah, that's pretty crazy. That's either a cry for help or maybe it's genuine.
That's all you have to say to rebuke a demon. I hope you guys appreciate how deadly serious I am about this right now. I hope you can appreciate that this is a battle and a war of principalities and powers. No, this is not a bot. This is anabolics.
Get behind me, Satan!
This is not a bot. This is a person. Bots don't.
Not the DUI niece? Oh, okay, so this is a different one. Yeah, that sucks, bro. Jeez.
Behave this emotionally irrationally. You're such a goddamn charlatan. Raymond, please don't get an animal. Animals already go through enough without bald apes like you yelling at them for barking. He's going after the Jews here.
Wow, I'm like Jesus Christ over here, and everyone is out to get me. Like, Jesus Christ, you must be the Jews, oy vey. I mean,
Don't you always say, show me the timestamps, and then when they do, all of a sudden they're unhinged stalkers, God.
Oh my god, bro, this is great.
Let's see, most recent one.
Like, why does he let this bother him? He's dedicating an entire segment of his live stream to this shit. Do you think this person's gonna stop now? No, they're gonna keep fucking doing it.
I want to go back to 2006 when the school nurse accidentally touched my you-know-what.
All right, awesome. Thanks, nigga. All right.
Dude.
It's all sexual degeneracy with these people.
What? Dude, hold on. Sexual degeneracy is now off limits? The guy who talks about wanting to fucking paint bitches' faces after watching one or two of their YouTube videos is upset about sexual degeneracy. Holy, bro. This is crazy. Dude, no one on this platform deserves less to call out sexual degeneracy than Raymond.
Since Dad Mode is watching, hey Dad Mode, maybe you should get off the internet and give your son a call. Your display last night was an embarrassment. Come on, be a man and a father. Give your boy a call. Someone needs more lithium. Whatever he is, it's a demon. I know that. I'm just saying. The one thing that I know is that Jesus Christ holds dominion over these demons. And you don't have to be perfect. Everyone is a sinner. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be pure as the driven snow. In fact, he calls the imperfect to his service. Paul was Saul.
That's right, dude. And you're literally him.
And you read Paul's letters to the churches in chronological order. The introductions, it's amazing. I read this text messages, Google verification codes all night. You know, never mind if there was something going on with my family, an emergency of some kind. No, we're just going to overload my phone to the point where I have to put it on Do Not Disturb. I don't know how to get that to stop. I've checked all of my Google accounts.
Yeah, exactly, dude. He literally talks about wanting to blow loads all over women's faces. Or, you know, have hot, nasty monkey sex. Or, you know, the 19-year-old with the perfect peach ass. And, you know, it's just, you know, like, really, Raymond is going to morally signal about, you know, sexual degeneracy. That shit's crazy, man. Of all people. Yeah. Sorry, bro. That is not your cross to bear. And Shaka Shaka Gaming with the 8, is Raymond the poster child for soy-lennials like you, Griffin? Well, I'm not a soy-lennial, technically. Also, why don't you like the anime male? Oh, the anime man? Because he's like some turbo leftist retard. Please admit you're more obsessed with Final Fantasy? Then what? What am I more obsessed with Final Fantasy than? I don't know. I mean, I like Final Fantasy, sure.
They don't show any erroneous logins. Somebody's using my identity to sign up for a Google product. No, it's not AI. It's somebody who's completely obsessed. And no, there's not a difference. But that's the thing I've been saying. It doesn't matter if the internet theory is all AI or NPCs. They behave with the same outcomes. That is one thing when you're running a YouTube channel and you get thousands of comments a day. If you would have browsed through those held comments that I used to get, it's unhinged. It's unhinged. They make my phone unusable. My spam email inbox is full of these awful images. It doesn't matter. They'll do whatever they can to make you. You know, I wanted to name this. I think authenticity can't be faked is pretty accurate. I wanted to name it my resolve has never been stronger because it actually hasn't. Liziness, thank you very much.
Boom, here's your...
Whoops. Thank you very much. Stay strong. No, what I'm saying is my resolve has never been stronger. I'm not stopping. If they're above the law, then they're subject to a higher law. They will not escape. It's true. That's the test about this mortal coil is you have to endure until they get theirs. And they will. They will. Nobody gets out of this life alive. And everybody's going to get theirs.
Wow, man, that was very deep. SNK Nostalgia with a 2. I somewhat function in my family being reasonable. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, man. In this modern time, dysfunction seems to be the norm, unfortunately. So, you know, segmented families, constant outside influence, social media, all the vices. Yeah, it's hard to be normal nowadays, so normalcy is anything but normal at this point. So by your logic, Griff, wanting to pop on someone's face is currently comparable to something like Fuda? Not really, but he was comparing wanting the school nurse to touch his penis to, you know, sexual degeneracy, not something like Fuda. Obviously, there's levels to it, but no, he was, like, talking about basically getting a indirect handy from the school nurse is like sexual degeneracy, when it's like, bro, you've literally gone on rants about how you want to blow loads on random chicks' faces. So I would say that the rants about wanting to blow loads on chicks' faces are way fucking worse than getting a hand job from the school nurse. But hey, if you're going to call one sexual degeneracy, the other definitely is. But Fuda didn't even enter the equation, bro.
But believe me, I'd be chirping.
I don't really think blowing a load or, you know, a hand job necessarily is sexual degeneracy. But if Raymond wants to call one sexual degeneracy, but not his rantings and ravings about why he can't get a woman to touch his penis, like, you know, call a spade, right?
I don't know what I did. I'm so tired of it. I'm so tired of every single day being reminded of this shit. Because it doesn't end when you turn the computer off. Especially because, like, fucking literally 27 Google verification codes in my inbox right now on my text messages. Rendering my phone completely incapacitated so that if somebody actually had to get a hold of me, they would not be able to. And my phone, no caller ID, constantly already called. I feel like a dad when you're watching, like, a kid throw a temper tantrum and screaming.
Blowful Nugget with the 2. Raymond being prudish now in the big 26. Yeah, of all people, being a prude is not Raymond's forte, that's for sure. The pagan warrior holds his sword high, exactly. The Aryan warlord, leading us to our glorious revolution.
On the floor, and you're just waiting for them to get tired so you can speak? That's what it feels like. That blue hair screaming fat guy. That's like Senguso in a wig, basically. Yeah, the slurp was pretty good.
Am I an alpha male? Oh yeah, dude. Women cower in fear whenever I walk into the room.
That Bass on YouTube, he said, on Twitter, he was like, your sin was saying that you were lonely and then talking about it. Men aren't allowed to do that, especially not conventionally attractive men.
I'm guessing even unattractive, but... SNK Nostalgia with the 2. Raymond knows us best. Lol, exactly, man. Raymond is the philosopher of our times. You know, he will be in the annals of history, up there with Socrates and Plato. There will be, on the next page, Raymond. Thoughts in mind.
Thank you for enduring. Thank you for being here, guys. Really. I have this video pulled up. This is going to be a little different. This is something that came across my feed today. Shout out to We Gon' Be Alright. Please subscribe to him. He's a lot of fun to watch. He's from Columbus. I'm actually surprised. I probably know who this is, because he's my age. I probably know who this is, but I can't remember because Columbus is so blurry. But pretty much anybody my age who hung out at all in Columbus all know each other. And I also worked tangential to the advertising industry in Columbus there at the beginning of my career too. So anyway, this is about Xenos, apparently. The thumbnail had Xenos Church in it. And if you know anything about local Columbus anything, you know that Xenos, as soon as if you were dating a chick in Central Ohio and she's in her 20s and she mentions Xenos, run away from that woman as fast as possible. Run. If you go through and read those responses, that kind of vitriol and rhetoric is all, the Anabolics Plays channel, Sock Puppets channel, the Watch Party channel. There's like 5, 6, 7, 12, I think, channels who are just clip channels of me.
Dude, he's talking to a fucking groiper in a in a Drake hoodie.
Yeah, I found the one the other day. That's like, it's all bloody too. It's like, it's like super gory. Like, I don't understand how YouTube doesn't immediately bump that out of here. Like, that's where it's going to go. It
is very obvious that I
What the fuck is that?
was selected to be forgotten about over the course of time by the algorithm. And when they realized that that wouldn't shut me up, that I,
Is that Raymond?
As soon as I started multi-streaming on Kick, I started getting all those hate speech strikes too, which is interesting because I was starting to have success on another platform and they were trying to like me over here. And YouTube, they shut me
I'm guessing that's
down.
not.
And like, I had to private all my stuff because a third hate speech strike and I'm gone. And I've decided I'm not gonna put another piece of content on YouTube because they've made it.
Your page was maybe sad actually. I went and looked at it the other day.
Well, I got hit so they suspended me for a week and then I came back and did a live stream. And then the morning after that, I got hit.
Is that me? Hell no, bro. I would never get a tattoo.
With a hate speech strike. And that was the second one.
So one more, it's over.
Yeah. And it became very clear to me instantly that like, no, they fully intend to finally take my channel out. They shadow banned me for about a year and then they wanted to just shut it down. And so I had to hide everything. Yeah. And that's really just so I can retain the subscriptions I have and the stuff that I watch and my ability to at least comment in my name. So I do have the ability to,
it once,
I do have the ability to defend myself, and I have tried to, but then these litigious nature of these guys, that this Anabolics channel, I've commented once on his channel, and he hits me instantly with like all these quotes and timestamps and like all this detail, like you said this, that, and you're heinous, and you're bad, and your personality, you're horrible, and like the same energy that James on his live stream with Sinaguso last night came in with the fucking, like he had a fucking printout of quotes I've said. That's not normal behavior. Not when you have a 65,000 subscriber YouTube channel. You do not spend all of your free time clipping some bald guy in Ohio and keeping fucking documents of everything I've ever said. This is unhinged. Like this is actually crazy.
Yeah, trust me, I'm experiencing some of it myself, not nearly on the same level that you are, because so far at least my channel's not been threatened. But my channel's a little bit different because within a month of me having my channel, I got a strike.
Yeah.
Way back in the day from COVID. Yeah, I covered COVID, and I was like, fresh channel. I'm like, I really didn't care back then.
Chakashaki Gaming with the 8 is the anime man really married to an only cans mod? I have no idea, to be honest. I just know that at one point he was porking some fat Asian chick. Also, Griffin, you're the most Final Fantasy obsessed human I've ever seen. Wrong. Go watch a video on the Final Fantasy house and then get back to me. And SNK Nostalgia with the 2. How do I get out of this chicken shit out? You can't, man. You're in it for life. It's already over. Once the suit's on, it never comes off.
Now looking back, it's like now I only have basically one strike, because if I go to 2, it's like one more. It's like, ball game. It's over at that point.
Well, they claim it's within a 90-day window, but mine have not gone away. And the first one I got the warning, it was February 5th. Last I checked, July 28th is a lot farther away than 90 days from February 5th.
Did you check did you do the quiz? Isn't that what you have to do now?
Yeah, I did. You know what's funny about that? I did their little struggle session quiz. It was all questions about Sandy Hook. 2012. This is the agenda. This is the leftist rot on YouTube.
Yeah. And you know
Sandy,
worse.
the thought crime, their education is Sandy Hook. From 2012. That's, what is that? 15 years ago? 14 years ago.
Yeah.
Wait, is Raymond linking himself to the fucking Sandy Hook shit? What the fuck is this shit, bro?
They're using Alex Jones.
I was going to say, that's why. Because they wanted Alex Jones out.
Right.
They total life destruction. $1 trillion legal settlement. That's just like, pack it up, you're done. Forget it.
GDP of France.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, forget it. It's over. And guess who's still on the internet?
Alex Jones.
Exactly. And Rex Jones, God bless him, doing God's work.
Well,
Big fan of what he's doing. Bald guy, too. Bald guy.
Right, I know. I'm glad that Rex has been getting a lot more vocal.
I like him.
It's funny because, it really would be like, if it wouldn't have been for X, though, like, Alex probably would have been, like, really, really harmed. Because he basically transitioned during all of that in the same period of, like, when Elon Musk is purchasing X, making it wide open, like, freeing everything all the way back up again.
It ain't that free.
And, like, he would...
Yeah, it was $1 billion. And plus, it's a civil lawsuit, which means you can just bankruptcy your way out of it, which is what happened. So Alex is off the hook now already.
Been stuck to, like, what, Rumble? That's the only other platform
Well, InfoWars has had its own infrastructure for
website,
25 years now. I remember listening to the InfoWars stream off their website at my State of Ohio job in college in 2009. So it's like they have transcended YouTube far before YouTube was even a thing. They were doing video downloads. Now, look at this. 118 of this guy just screeching at me. Can I get, if I got $1 for every single one of these fucking tweets, if I got 50 cents
Give me
for every
money.
single one of these fucking tweets, I would get my goal. Every fucking one. 50 cents. Holy fucking Batman, man. How do you crack in the box? I know, it's like the amount of messages I've sent girls in my day. Like they say, oh, you need to send girls messages on Instagram. I have. They don't reply. Like, God. Oh. Wow, this guy actually sent me a bunch of messages on Instagram, too. Do you want to see that? Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Instagram. Fuck you, 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 Snack Planet.
Game and simple. Oh yeah, that's pretty funny.
Holy shit. Like,
Game and simple more.
and she's talking about an inbox full of messages. I'm like, why bother? Why bother? I just.
I can't afford this shit.
Well, IG, from what I've heard, is a great place to find, you know, amateur hookers. So, you know, the sex industry basically runs through Instagram nowadays. But, yeah, I don't message women on Instagram. You know, the only people I message are pokey chuds, but that's to buy and sell cards.
Schizophrenia? That's insane. Howard Stern and Opie Anthony used to routinely make fun of people like Shelby. Never was and never will be. Oh, look at this. I need more money for special floss, aka pubic hair from all the truck drivers. He was legitimately laughing. Yeah, because you're a stupid, childless, moronic, and impotent clown. This Bipsy isn't a fat Mexican and she doesn't like me. I'm aware life isn't fair. I'm aware. But those Bipsies aren't even white. Why are you some kind of race trader on YouTube, race? Raymond, remember when you flipped out over flies in your house? Let's get some subs. Let's get some money so I can keep harassing women. You say Shelby's ugly, like you making fun of Senegos being bald.
Wait, thank the Lord Jesus Christ you don't have a future. Thank God no woman pays attention to you, and you're forced to hate Jack into a tissue. But if you want, you can put the tissue onto a pillow and read it a bedtime story like a real family. God, dude, why is he giving this guy this much attention?
Look at your face. You look like Darth Vader without the helmet. You go to bed. You have to fix your sleep schedule for your new job. Shut up, asshole. You don't have to sow anything other than hate Jack to beer commercial. What? I'm aware this life isn't fair before you even put that in the fucking comment section. Boom, you're bald. Boom, boom. You're still not a sex haver. Boom, boom. You fear James. Boom, boom. I thought you didn't have central AC. You lied to us. It's a window unit, you fucking mongoloid. Nothing about you is authentic, you riding loser. Oh my god, I'm just so tired. Like, how are you going for 6 hours on me? You accusing people of being creepy, I'm aware.
Why? Because you're giving him the attention he wants. He's going to keep doing it now.
Aren't you always the only one asking for timestamps? Stop A-logging James. There's just so many. It's not even close. It's not even close. That shit from yesterday, fucking Simon. Look at this, middle finger. A CPA, a certified public asshole. Good lord, dude. It's an issue. Like, it's an issue. Like, this is not normal behavior. It's not normal behavior. And he's posting it, like, 36 comments. And I've shown this picture on my stream as an example when I was the biggest ever. And it's just, this is all it is. I think it's this guy. Because he just, it's all of these. Like, it just, fuck, man. It never stops. And it's exhausting. It's exhausting. Dude, what are we doing here? We're just going after, we're just gonna bald, okay.
I can't afford this shit.
Why is he spotlighting this shit? Holy fuck, dude. Oh my god. It's just like, this is like a child, bro. This is a literal child. Let's see, SNK Nostalgia with the 2. Dreamcast guy greater than Raymond. Oh, absolutely, bro. Absolutely. Dreamcast guy is way more of a winner. I definitely have more respect for Dreamcast guy. Absolutely. And SNK Nostalgia also with the 2. Raymond can look women in the eyes and then forces them to give him change at the grocery store, so they have to touch his hand. God.
Show me your face, dude. High and mighty, hiding behind anonymity. And I
don't understand this cope, bro. Like, maybe you just shouldn't have shown your face. Like, again, no one's content is inherently made better by being on camera. You can easily use, like, fucking gameplay footage, still images, like ambient fucking backgrounds and shit like that, of like looping visuals. Like, nobody needs to be on camera. You chose to be on camera because you wanted to be. Like, Raymond's content is only made better in the sense that you get to watch him spurg out. But if he was making like serious content, then him being on camera would add absolutely nothing of value to what he's producing. So I don't know. I don't really understand that logic. Synth would not be successful at all if he didn't show his face. I disagree with that. If anything, I liked Synth's reviews more when he didn't use stream clips as like kind of filler.
I honestly feel like if I just screen recorded video games or whatever, I couldn't do that. I wouldn't be able to do that. I wouldn't be able to have a faceless channel. That wouldn't be in the cards for me. It doesn't work because you talk with your body. And, you know, that if you can't see someone, do you really trust them? I don't understand.
I don't trust someone even if I can see them. SNK Nostalgia with the 5 gifted membership. Really appreciate it, man. Thank you so much, bro. It's very kind of you. Very generous as always. And appreciate you spreading that positivity, dude. But yeah, really appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. But Griffin, at least Raymond doesn't have roommates at 40? Well, yeah, dude, but Dreamcast guys out there slaying pussy and bussy. So, if Raymond's metric of success in life is getting laid, then Dreamcast guys definitely winning that battle.
This is why I respect the abuse from somebody like the Kino Casino way more.
And if you could only let it be, you would see.
Oh man, I'm gonna cry.
You the way you are when we're driving.
It's like prom 2004 all over
in
again.
your car, and you're talking to me one-on-one, but you become somebody else. Around everyone else, you're watching your back like you can't relax. You're trying to be cool, you look like a fool to me. Tell me what you don't make things so complicated. I see the way you're acting like somebody else gets me frustrated. Life's like this, you fall and you crawl and you break and you take what you get and you turn it into honesty. Promise me
I'm so sad.
No.
Oh, James, you're making me feel everything right
You
now.
come over unannounced, dressed up like.
Dude, I could see him like ugly crying, screaming this song in his car. Same with that fucking Nickelback song.
Just something else where you are and where it's at. You see, you're making me laugh out when you strike the pose. Take off all your preppy clothes. You know you're not fooling anyone.
Really does
When
get
you
you.
become somebody else, around everyone else, you're watching your back like you can't relax. You're trying to be cool, you look like a fool to me. Tell me why you had to go and make things so complicated. I see the way you're acting like you're somebody else, getting me frustrated. Life's like this, you fall and you crawl and you break and you take what you get and you turn it.
You're shitting. No, dude. He's crying. Who even sings that obnoxious fucking song? Hold on. Complicate. I hated that fucking song, bro. I remember when I used to go to fucking TJ Maxx with my mom. They used to always play that shit over the speaker. Oh my god, bro. Avril Lavigne, or Levine. Yeah. Trash. Absolute fucking trash, bro.
I'm fucking crying right now. We all had to grow up, guys.
Chill out, what you yelling for? Lay back, it's all been done before.
We're never gonna get it
And
back.
if you could only let it be, you will see somebody else around everyone else. You're watching your back like you can't relax. You're trying to be cool, you look like a fool to me. And tell me why you have to go and make things so complicated.
Never get it back.
I see the way you're acting like you're somebody else, getting me frustrated.
Dude, this is brutal. How the fuck are you crying over like Foid music, dude? This would be like if somebody turned on Taylor Swift and you just started crying.
Life's like this, you fall and you crawl and you break and you take what you get and you turn it into honesty. Promise me you're never gonna find you faking. No, why you have to go and make things
Man.
And you turn it into honesty. You promise me I'm never gonna find you fakest. No, no, no.
Oh my god, dude. James, I wasn't ready for that. God damn.
Oh my god, dude.
You really didn't know what we
You had back then, man. Jesus. Why'd you have to go and do that to me?
God, man. You that really got me.
Oh my god.
I wasn't ready for that. Let's be right back.
Holy shit, dude.
See, this is sexism at work. No one wants to see my cooch cam.
We just did, bro. If the goal was to show a pussy on camera, I think we just saw that.
But everybody wants to see Shelby's clam.
Including you.
My button's not working. No! No, it's... What the hell? My button's...
Dude, this is insane. Like...
not working. Pray for my button. What the hell? Oh no, I'm getting the spinning wheel of death. Oh no, the screen turned white. Look at this. See this? You can't see it. My soundboard just crashed. I don't know what happened. Hold on. What happened? How do you see... Alright, I gotta end task. Okay, let's reopen it. Wow, Chrome's using 3 gigabytes of memory. Come on, Chrome.
Give it 15 years, Griffin. You two will cry for the lost happiness of your youth. I mean, I guess. I don't know. I don't really think so, to be honest. I'm not really one to dwell.
Get it together. Alright, let's see if I can do it now. I can't believe it froze. The freaking... Well, Brave is using the same amount of RAM right now, so to be fair, took 1,000 times to my tweets with an animated picture that's supposed to be me with pointy teeth. By the way, the teeth look pointed because they're bent back into my head. They grew in that way. The orthodontist told me if it wasn't a functional defect, it wasn't going to be worth really spending the money on. And they didn't spend money on it. Sorry, that makes me subhuman. I'm Griffin.
Oh, there we go.
I clicked on Griffin's stream last night and clicked a few times in the timeline. He literally was talking about me the entire time. The entire fucking time. Every time I clicked in the timeline, like 4 times. Raymond, oh, that Raymond, he's so stupid. Oh, Raymond just burns every bridge he has. I don't know why he's so dumb. Why is Raymond? I would click a timestamp and he'd be talking Raymond. And I'm like, what the fuck? It's fucking, everybody loves Raymond. Everybody loves Raymond. Oh. Literally, I'm these people that despise me, I got about 40 different sign-up emails today in my name for various things that were all very leading, let's just say. And I'm trying to figure out if I'm going to have to contact some law enforcement, to be honest with you. Probably. I don't know when that's going to happen because Monday, not going to be able to. But yeah, phone just blowing up all day, rendering my phone basically unusable. Just all those constant reminders that you're not allowed to speak if you don't fit the mold. Because I was really trying to figure out, like, what exactly was it that I did?
Let's see. SNK Nostalgia with the 2. Canada is Brian Adams. I'm not familiar with Brian Adams. And also with the 2, I have lost the phone number, Canada. And also with the 2. So glad I was raised up in a U.S. Navy. Yeah, you're probably around a lot more normal people than old Ray. Poor Ray. Yeah, I don't know, dude. Crying over a song on stream is pretty crazy. Especially over, like, shitty-ass, like, girl pop music. Like, this would be like if you turned on, you know, the Taylor Swift You Belong With Me song and started crying. Like, dude, that's crazy. That's actually fucking crazy. Brian Adams. Oh, the summer of '69. So, okay, yeah, I know who that is then. Never mind. Gotcha. Let's see. Lucius Aurelian with the 10. Hell yes. Appreciate it, bro. Hell yeah, dude. I'd cry to Aerith theme if I were him. You know, that's more understandable, to be fair.
And I know that, you know, this is not necessarily a topic of general interest per se, but, you know, when somebody's trying to shut you down for no reason other than being yourself, and you realize that it's coming from other males who purport to be whatever they purport to be, and then there's other people who just had promised that they were just going to enact total reputational destruction. And it seems like they're attempting hardcore right now. Let's just put it at that. So, you know, pray for me, boys. James, what's up, man? Good to see you, brother. I used your gift from the other day. Thank you for the 500 kicks, my friend. I actually was able to get myself a little pizza pie, and it was actually pretty good. And I only closed my eyes briefly after my shower today. So, Papa John's, been craving that for a while, and kind of remember why I never really eat there. Oh, man, 3:30 though in the afternoon, 4 o'clock, whenever it was that I went over there, absolutely packed. Like, the roads were really just starting to get, like I don't understand how there's so much traffic in town. And yes, James, it was a crazy week. It was way too crazy. And thank you for the pizza, by the way. Rather than a feminist organization, it is a clandestine panopticon surveillance apparatus. ApperDev gave me the awesome suggestion here. Let's check in with the chat real fast. Some of those guys on YouTube are claiming and showing screenshots that you copyright struck them. Is that true? I was doxxed, and my social security number was leaked publicly. And these people were either responsible or encouraged it.
No, see, this is the problem with Raymond, is he assigns blame and fault to everyone, just on the virtue of he doesn't like them. Whereas maybe he could have gotten people who even shit on him on his side. And, you know, he could have reached out and said, hey, man, I know you don't like me, but I've got some fucked up shit happening to me. Do you mind if you get rid of this shit off your channel? And most people are human and, you know, not just assholes at their core. They'd be like, sure, Raymond, you know, regardless of how I feel about you personally, I won't allow that type of shit to be posted in my comments section. But no, what he does is he goes, all these people are fucking doxing me and they're encouraging people. It's like, yeah, nobody wants to fucking help you now. So, you know, I'm still gonna, like, again, if people dox them in my chat, they'll get banned. But, you know, why would people extend you that common courtesy when you're accusing them of doing it with zero evidence? So, I don't know, man. It's like bridge burning. Literally, like he was just talking about.
If my copyrighted material matched in YouTube's little thing, it's within my rights. Copyright strike is not the same thing as a false flag hate speech strike, which is what they did to me.
It's the exact same thing. It's just a different system. It's within their rights to fucking flag your video for whatever they think it's, you know, violating. Using a YouTube feature is not an illegal act.
I think I did. You whenever you want. That would be telling me what I want to hear. Oh, and by the way, that would be the result of the YouTube channel. Hey, Raymond, you made a YouTube channel for 2 years straight. Now, there's a manic pixie bitch that wants to have sex with you all the time. Isn't that great? See? No one is telling me that.
Yeah, because that's what you think is going to happen in your millennial malaise. I check this box. I get this thing. That's basically how he structured his entire life. I go to art school. I get a job. I get a job. I get lots of money. I get lots of money. I buy a house. I buy a house. A woman wants to suck my dick. Like, that's basically his worldview. If you really boil it down, it's like super transactional, super checklisty. He thinks that if you accomplish X, Y, and Z, regardless of the context surrounding it, regardless of what, you know, the standard of the house is, the degree he gets, the job he gets, etc. If he just checks the box by the bare minimum, then women will be lined up around the block ready to suck his cock. Ooh, that rhymed.
No one is doing that for me. No one. In fact, the opposite. I'm being completely destroyed. Because I said anything even close to that. And of course, I'm being hyperbolic. But you get the idea of what I'm saying. I honestly, every time I've watched Orion Teraband, I've been pissed off. We could go full conspiracy. I'm kind of at the point where the 86, the 8600, the 37F, the 34N psychological operation has become so transparent to me now. It's so obvious what that was. It's like, I should have seen it a mile away. I think we're just good vibes for everybody tonight. It's like a good day. It's a good day. It's a good day. I spent the day looking at the fields of Ohio, driving in the country, mowing grass. It was great. I have the energy to fight with anybody tonight. I got like somebody signed me up for like 40 porn sites with all my information and sent me all the confirmation emails. And then I started getting Burger King application verifications. And I'm like, fuck, what the hell? I have a bunch.
Did you get the job? SNK Nostalgia with the 2. 1992 U.S. Navy-based kids have fun. M9 with Marines. That's pretty neat, man. Yeah, that's back in the day, too, where you could actually do fun shit like that. Nowadays, it would never fly.
Bunch of identity theft problems right now. Your chat is Jack as well. She has 3 cameras on her. All right, guys. Thank you a lot. I really appreciate everybody. I will see you tomorrow. Again, probably for the last time until next week.
I can't afford this shit!
You missed your childhood? Well, I think everybody does. Because at its core, your childhood's really the only time where you're actually, like, truly happy. Because you don't really have anything to worry about other than, oh, am I going to get this video game? Or am I going to go on this trip? Or am I going to go over to this friend's house? Like, that's really the depth of your concern as a child. So, once you hit a certain age, that vanishes. The innocence of youth diminishes. So... And birthdays and Christmas you can consume. Yeah, exactly. And then you spend your entire adult life working hard so you can recapture a little bit of that magic. And then you die. The end. Griffin can't speak on happiness when he doesn't even feel... I haven't felt truly happy in a very, very long time, so... I have no problem admitting that. I can't really point to a time where it's been like, yeah, dude, I'm just really happy. So, outside of being a kid, obviously, but, adult life-wise. You have less money than you did as a birth. Wait, hold on. How much money did you get for your birthday as a kid? Shit. I don't know. I never really got too much birthday money. I'd get like a couple $100 or so, but nothing crazy.
You shut the fuck! Don't you fucking tell me to my face to shut the fuck up!
The only thing I have to look forward to is the Tsukahime sequel, and that's probably never coming out, so I'm just running on cope now. Yeah, I mean, that's basically all you can do, is find one thing to look forward to and, keep on chugging. Let's see. So SNK Nostalgia with the 2. I also shot a M16 A2 with night vision. Oh, that's cool, man. M16 would be fun to shoot. That would be pretty cool. And then also with the 2, God bless the U.S. Marines. That's right, man. Semper Fi. Right? I think that's the Marines. Don't quote me. And Perfect Dark with the 10. I asked the quirky girl's number at work, told her she doesn't have to. She said she doesn't date coworkers, but gave me her number anyway. She still talks to me when she sees me. He needs to stop the unhinged act. It's all he has left. You know, that's his cope, basically. You know, I don't know, man. But yeah, it's... If you actually put yourself out there and aren't a, you know, unbearable spurg, then most likely you can find someone and not be completely, you know, ostracized by all women out there. But, yeah. Good luck. I mean, that's the thing, is even if Raymond does put on the mask long enough to talk to a woman, it'll eventually start to crack. Because that is who he is at his core, is that, you know, obnoxious spurg. I'm an unbearable spurg? Maybe so. I don't know. I don't really think so, though. I'm pretty low energy online and offline, too.
Hey there gamers, Dreamcast Guy here. Today we're talking about PlayStation, the state of PlayStation, and the future of PlayStation. Because all over the internet for this entire last month, from July 1st to July 31st, the entire sentiment has been, it's time to give up on PlayStation. As fans, as consumers, as hype bros. The era of PlayStation is past. And I wanted to discuss this because I have to admit that I feel weird about the idea that PlayStation as we knew it is dead, but...
The era of PlayStation? Dude, the era of PlayStation was in the fucking 90s and early 2000s. PlayStation has never been truly dominant in gaming since the PS2. The PS3 was a massive fucking dud. The PS4 was a boring console overall. It was just the default platform because the Xbox One was so shitty. And the PS5 is literally only known for having no games. So, yeah, the PlayStation's entire era has been over for almost 2 decades at this point.
Objectively, it's true. I created this YouTube channel right before the PlayStation 4 came out, right at the end of the PlayStation 3. And honestly, the end of the PlayStation 3 truly cannot be overstated how cool that was. There were just so much crazy stuff from the entire Killzone trilogy, the entire Uncharted trilogy, Infamous, the infamous DLC, Rush of Blood. There was so much just epic stuff on PlayStation 3 that made it feel like next gen was this massive global reset. You truly cannot...
Did you guys see the fucking shit on Twitter today of like these literal fucking bots? And they're not actual bots, they're just retarded. They were in the Nintendo live stream spamming for Fire Emblem, no disc, no buy. Like, dude. Cattle. Literal fucking cattle, bro. No disc, no buy. For fucking Fire Emblem. Like, yeah. They're not even sentient, bro. They're not even fucking sentient.
Even imagine what that was like. I'm glad that some of my videos, I actually was even posting videos because I was so hyped about the dawn of the PlayStation 4. And boy, did it deliver so many crazy cool exclusives, from new Ratchet & Clanks to obviously Persona 5, which was an exclusive for a long time. Just so much stuff. God of War. But with the PlayStation 5 generation, Sony has just given up. We've gotten almost no exclusives. Their live service slop has been downright pathetic, but it's also more than that, right? It's that the tone, the vibe, the conversation around this, it's just completely gone to hell. Like, right now as I record this, they have just released a statement doubling down, saying that the all-digital future is being forced upon us. They don't care about the backlash. They don't care about people saying they're giving up. Something about the negative attitude of PlayStation has made me very much just stop caring about the platform. I mean, instantly. I don't care about trophy hunting anymore.
Wait, the negative... So wait, he's literally basically confessing That the only thing he cares about is popular sentiment? You don't care about what your own views and what your own opinion of a platform is, as long as, you know, people online tell you what to think, that's what you think? Again, not even sentient, bro. Perfect example. Maybe Dreamcast guy was also putting no disc, no buy in the chat for Fire Emblem. If other people don't like something, then I can't like it either. Holy fuck, man. Literal fucking herd mentality.
I don't care about collecting stuff physically anymore. It does feel like this is an era where PlayStation just wants us to abandon it and think of it only as a platform. Let me explain, let me break that down, and let me take a look at a lot of the reactions, because it does seem like this is, for better and for worse, the end of PlayStation as we knew it. I hope you're having a great day. If you could, please give this video a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Now, I've seen hundreds and hundreds of videos in this vibe. After 30 years of PlayStation fanboying, I am done. Now, part of the reason a lot of us hate the all-digital future is the lack of access, the lack of ability to actually own our games, to play our games. And, I mean, some of it's just the fact that, like,
your lack of ability to play your games? What is preventing you from playing your games? What exactly is preventing you from booting up whatever game you own? Exactly. I would love to know.
Now, as I record this, my internet is currently down. It actually gets so hot here in Texas, sometimes the servers literally just melt. So because
that is not how that works, but alright.
Right now, a lot of my digital games straight up don't work.
Don't you guys hate it when it's so hot outside that your internet shuts off? Yeah, I don't think that's a thing.
Literally, the only thing I can play right now is my physical Nintendo Switch collection. Isn't that fantastic? So I'm playing a lot of Splatoon Raiders because it works offline, doesn't need anything. Pop the cartridge in, instantly works, no mandatory updates and stuff. This era is being forced into the past. Straight up PlayStation, as the juggernaut current head of media, they're saying nobody really cares about physical. Everybody's fine with the all-digital future. Doesn't matter if you have good internet or bad internet, just please line up and pay for it. And what's funny is that I feel like a lot of the physical collectors are the first to say, this is the line in the sand. You're screwing us over for the tiniest bump in profit margin. And I keep seeing stuff like,
Perfect Dark with the 10. Really appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. And we don't work at the same job. She's a EMS for a different company. I just clean the hospital and rooms when people discharge or die. So I guess that's a good sign. He may need a real job to talk to real girl. Don't tell him that, dude. No, he's going to flirt with terminally online e-girls because, you know, that's exactly who's looking for a 40-year-old bald man with a crack shack and no
shut
job.
the fuck! Don't you fucking tell me to my face to shut
Yeah.
the fuck up!
I don't know. Yeah, good luck getting that through. He'll think you're a troll, dude. What, you're telling him to get a job and talk to real people in real life? What are you, a detractor? But, yeah. Good luck with that one. That's all I can say. Raymond is addicted to internet money, which, you know, it's nice. Getting paid to simply exist on the internet. Can't say that I hate it either, but, you know, I also have an actual job, too. But, yeah, he's gotten so used to just waking up and getting paid for doing nothing that it'll be very, very hard for him to go back to ever actually working again. An SNK nostalgia with the 2. How much does it cost to fix his speak? I think he paid like 10 grand to get his top teeth fixed. I have no idea when he's doing his bottom teeth, but apparently he was doing both. Maybe he decided not to.
That's right. The new PlayStation sucks. They used to be cool, man. This is just, you guys, if you only started gaming in the PlayStation 4 era, which a lot of people did, I'm not even bagging on like, oh, you new school gamers, to the people that only grew up with PlayStation 4, which again, that was a big, crazy, jam-packed decade. I'm sure a bunch of people did.
It sucked.
This is such an overlooked part of it. They used to be cool. Like, truly, PlayStation for decades was where the cool kids played. I think that's part of the reason they just...
Yeah, because they used to be Japanese. And then they became Globo Homo California slop.
Absolutely blew Xbox out of the water. I mean, the Xbox One might as well have launched with like funeral bagpipes playing. Everybody was lining up to play the latest PlayStation games, the latest PlayStation DLC, the latest crazy experiences. You had to be there. Even if something was allowed to be third-party, a lot of times even like third-party developers were making PlayStation exclusives without even a Sony contract because...
You hate my Goya activities like buying cards? Well, you know, it's either that or I buy a 6-foot long piece of rope.
Everybody was so excited to talk about that next big PlayStation experience. And ever since then, it just feels like PlayStation has stopped caring about that, which is so bizarre because clearly it was hyper effective. And people keep talking about this, right? Sony has hit rock bottom this decade by closing Studio Japan, honestly one of the best studios that made some of the classic PlayStation games we love the most, investing in live service SLOP, and then also just forcing this all-digital future. PlayStation we once knew is gone for good.
Yeah, SNK nostalgia with the two, I agree, man. Capcom greater than the entire Western games. Yeah, there was like this, hold on, wait, maybe I sent it to myself. Let me check. I think I did, but let's see. Oh, no, I didn't. Fuck! But it was basically like this little graphic of all the game studios, and it was like, if you could only pick 3, and it's like so obvious, you'd pick, you know, Capcom, Nintendo, Square Enix. Like every other game studio at this point can quite literally disappear, and I wouldn't even care.
Current PlayStation is barely recognizable at this point. It's never been so easy to walk away from a platform. You know, this is the part that I feel like I keep sitting and reflecting on, right? I grew up playing PlayStation 1 from the very, very start. I still remember the first time I ever saw a PS1. I'd never even heard of it. I went over to a kid's house and he said, hey, check it out. This is a PlayStation. And it started up, that opening, you know, title crawl pops up and then the original Crash Bandicoot. And he played like the opening couple levels of Crash Bandicoot. I'd never seen such crystal clear, you know, on a CRT TV, but it seemed like it at the time, crystal clear 3D graphics. That 3D audio just sounded so cool. I remember.
Oh, yeah, dude, it was so great.
For it just feeling like we had made this giant jump into the future. This is what 3D gaming is going to be, because I hadn't even seen a Nintendo 64 at that point. That era where everything felt like this revolution for role-playing games and racing games and action games, and like so many games just being able to push those graphical limits. Going into the PlayStation 3, suddenly we're having fully voiced games with orchestral soundtracks and giant sweeping vistas. Going to PlayStation 3, the first HD experiences, suddenly we're having these graphics that felt incredibly impossible, like giant worlds like Grand Theft Auto 4, and even stuff like Final Fantasy.
Yeah, I agree, man. Trash Bandicoot does suck.
13. So much of that stuff that felt like these big giant leaps that felt great to experience on a PlayStation. Even that stuff existed on the Xbox 360. A lot of us were excited. Hey, this is my PlayStation experience. Trophy hunting and stuff felt so good. Whereas when I see stuff like this, you really can...
Dude, I don't think this Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls game is going to do well at all. I think it's going to bomb.
See that Sony has just given up on that identity of this is the...
I think it's going to crash and burn.
Best place to play. Remember that? That was sort of what PlayStation talked about. Play has no limits. We have all the best stories. Stories, man. That's part of what really hits me about this, right? During that PlayStation 4 and that late PlayStation 3 era, there were so many stories that just made us care. So many amazing stories.
Like what?
I mean, The Last of Us.
Dude, The Last of Us. That's the only... Like, let's see if he has another one.
Still think about that first playthrough of Uncharted 4. Just
Uncharted 4? Dude, Uncharted 4 sucks. Uncharted 4 is literal fucking dog shit, and I'm tired of people fucking glazing that game. There is literally 0 fucking gunplay for the first 5 hours in an Uncharted game. Dude, Uncharted 3 is like 6 to 8 hours. And in the same length of the entire Uncharted 3 campaign, you rarely even encounter a single fucking enemy in Uncharted 4. Yeah, and Nathan Drake gets beat up by a black woman. It's like the biggest fucking joke game ever. They retconned the fact that he was an only child. You know, of course they gave him a daughter, so his family name would die with him. I mean, yeah, dude, super fucking subversive.
Absolutely. I'll admit it, at the very end, as happy and beautiful as that ending is, I cried. I still remember beating Uncharted 4, and it felt like this just beautiful passing of the torch of old PlayStation to new PlayStation. And then there's just been all these layoffs and shutdowns and delays. And honestly, I do think that part of it just feels like something about it is that their studios just no longer feel like they care about making that impact. I mean, I'm excited about God of War Le Fay and Wolverine, I guess, but when I see all these financial reports...
Of course he is.
It just doesn't feel like PlayStation has that same sense of pride, that sense of like daring originality, where they're going to put something out and maybe it won't sell 5 million copies or 50 million copies, but they want to put something out that felt really, really jarring. one of the most hyped games of this generation was God of War Ragnarok. Before God of War Ragnarok
According to who?
came out, there was actually a bunch of polling worldwide that God of War Ragnarok at the time was actually one of the most hyped games on the planet. And I thought that was so interesting at the time. The idea that, like, I was excited for God of War Ragnarok, but it was cool to see, like, everybody rushing out to buy a PlayStation 5 and everybody trying to find, you know, let's rebeat and do a master file of God of War 2018 so I'm ready to see what Ragnarok is all about. That was just such a cool, like, defining moment of this console generation. But they've been so few and far between. How many games have been even that great? I really enjoyed Ghost of Yotei. I'm not going to pretend I didn't enjoy Ghost of Yotei. I put up.
How many games have been that great? Dude, pretty much any other game that's released is better than fucking Ragnarok.
A bunch of hours into it. But this is the thing, right? Is that when you think about PlayStation now, it no longer feels like a PlayStation experience. It feels like a neutral platform. I now feel the same way about my PlayStation the way I do about my Nintendo Switch 2 or my Xbox or my Steam. And I have to admit, it has always been that way. I used to really enjoy having my friends list full of my real life friends, seeing what they're playing, invited them to squad up on this or that, right? Having all these cool experiences that felt like, hey, this is the PlayStation experience. Whereas now, it's just investor calls. It's marketing. It's about how much can we squeeze our fan base before it actually impacts our business. I mean, they're straight up telling their investors that they realize we can do anything crappy, good, bad, delay a game, cancel a project, and they'll still buy it. The little piggies will just drink it back up. And this to me feels like what PlayStation has become, right? Not a sense of great experiences. It's just a bunch of data points. It's a chart. I'll be honest, it's weird to think about this, but right now, if I could take, I think I have 1,100 PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 games, total, digital and physical. If I could take my entire PlayStation account and somehow Thanos snap my fingers and it becomes like a Steam account, I take all those games and put them on Steam, transfer all my trophies, turn them into Steam achievements, I think I'd do it. And it's not just about the customization.
Wait, you mean you're all in for the digital future?
And graphics options and stuff. Like, yeah, there's a bunch of great stuff about Steam. It's that no longer do I feel that same sense of excitement that I felt for the last 13 years of that PlayStation beep. Holding this controller and having some of the coolest
The PlayStation beep.
experiences. Now,
I've always hated that beep.
It just feels like charts and data points. I now feel nothing about PlayStation as a platform. So because of it, I don't feel that same sense of drive or pride about getting those platinum trophies. I really do feel just so checked out immediately. PlayStation 5 is the second worst-selling home console of all time, and it remarkably pulled ahead of PlayStation 3 because of the good faith it earned from gamers during PlayStation 4. But a whole generation of almost no games and disastrous PR, I can guarantee you that the PlayStation 6 flops. I have seen so many people talking about the failure of the PlayStation 6. People can boycott, but I think the only thing that will get Sony's attention if the PlayStation 6 fails, like the Virtual Boy levels of fails. Between this and the rumored $1,000 price point, we may get that level of failure. There was a huge wave of, how do I phrase this? There was a wave of fear at the start of the PlayStation 4 generation that's kind of...
Dude, my laptop has a similar beep, but it beeps 3 times when it shuts off, because there's like this bullshit security crap on it that, you know, if you're not actively moving your mouse, every 10 minutes it like goes into lockdown mode, so you have to like re-enter your PIN in order to, you know, wake it back up. And it beeps 3 times every single time it does that. So throughout the day, I'll just hear the beep, beep, beep. And it's super obnoxious.
Lost to history that I can tell you about. I was there for it, and a lot of those forum posts don't exist anymore. But the fact that the Xbox 360 was backwards compatible to the Xbox One, meaning that that generational leap, your whole library crossed over. Whereas with the PlayStation 3, the PS3 games did not play on the PlayStation 4. That made this sense of extra terror with the PlayStation fanbase. The PS4 has to hit the ground running with the biggest games, the craziest exclusives. It needs to sell. It needs to sell you, and it needs to sell you games so good you don't mind having to keep your PlayStation 3 or maybe even leaving your PlayStation 3 behind. And I'll be damned if they didn't do it. They really did manage to pull it off and make the PlayStation 4 like such a...
Oh, and I want to see if this is it. Nah, that's not it. Nope. Oh, well. I was gonna see if I could find it. But yeah, it's super annoying, man. I'm guessing it's whatever security software my company puts on there, but yeah, it's annoying as fuck.
crazy groundbreaking experience. People bought it even though it didn't have backwards compatibility like the other competitors did have, right? But ever since then, it just feels like PlayStation has given up on that. PlayStation has just said, you know what, you're going to keep buying it, you're going to keep locking it in, you're going to keep just engaging with the platform just because it's a platform instead of a cool place to play. When I see stuff like this, yeah, it's interesting that Halo's on PlayStation 5. I just about close to the platinum of it on the PlayStation 5 with the bros. I've been playing Halo Combat Campaign Evolved. But there's not that sense of joy, of, hey, here's something that feels like this crazy cool leap. I don't care about this. If I'm being honest, I feel the same as if I was playing this on PC or even on an Xbox. There's no...
Wow, you mean the same game that's on 3 different platforms feels the same on each of those 3 platforms? No way.
Longer that sense of joy of, hey, here is a PlayStation game. Yeah.
Maybe because it's not a PlayStation game. It's a fucking Xbox game.
Ignore the players and their lifelong customers for over a month, and when they finally make a statement, it's to their shareholders, not us. They should tell you all you need to know about Sony and PlayStation. Sony is going all digital with the PlayStation 6. Just get a PC. Both will be expensive as heck, but you don't need to pay for it online if you're on PC. Games discount way better, far more options, can run even better if you get the hardware. Let PlayStation have a Wii U generation. I think that I'm in a spot where...
U generation mentioned.
I think what's winning me over to PC more than anything else is how incredibly user-friendly it is. The discounts are insane. The customization is, if I want to turn off oculate lighting or shadows or graphics, even beyond graphics controls, it is cool that I can literally plug any controller with any adapter into it and play any game. The fact that there's automatic cloud saves that transfer from platform to platform, there's just so much that makes PC games feel better than anything that I've played on the PlayStation 5 for pretty much the last 5 years. Even the games I've enjoyed most on my PlayStation have been third-party stuff. Nothing will really compare to that platinum trophy of Elden Ring, right? But right now I'm playing Elden Ring again on my Steam machine, and it still feels great. I've played a lot of modded...
On his Steam machine. I thought this guy had a gaming PC. Why are you playing on a shitty-ass Steam machine?
Elden Ring Night Raid, and that's been some of the most fun I've had on PC in years, is modded runs, co-op. Right now, Sony seems to have forgotten that what the gamers want isn't necessarily physical games or not even necessarily exclusives. It's that tangible sense of the PlayStation experience. They've given up. They've so clearly given up, and they're never coming back. The era of PlayStation dominance was not about high sales numbers or crazy cool stuff like that. It was about PlayStation doing stuff better, more passionately, and with more pride. And at this point, all they care about is line go up. How do you feel about this current era of PlayStation? How do you feel about the future of PlayStation? I feel like I'm still going to get a PlayStation 6 just to review games on it, like just in general. But at this point, I think I'm
Yeah, we knew you would.
Going fully PC just for my own personal play. Like the stuff I want to play now, I'm just going to goof off on PC. There's no reason to trophy hunt. The trophy hunt is over. These have been some off-the-cuff thoughts from a currently internet-deprived Dreamcast guy. Please give this video a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and please keep dreaming. Let's see, is the internet still down? The internet is still down. I can't even use Discord to try and tell my roommates that the internet is down. Look at this. I love the...
You can't use Discord to tell your roommates that the internet is down. Well, here's the wonderful thing about roommates, Dreamcast guy. They're in the same fucking house.
Digital future, baby. Thanks so much for watching that.
Do you think, like, they're, like, crazy fucking neats to the point where they're, like, afraid of human contact outside of Discord? So he can only communicate with the roommates through Discord because they have such social anxiety.
Hey there, gamers, Dreamcast guy here. Today we're talking about the future of PlayStation, the future of Xbox, the future of gaming in general. Because as we approach next gen, it sounds like the next gen...
Let's see, Cosmic 2006 with the 10. Really appreciate it, bro. I do think of changing from PS5 to Switch 2 by the end of the year, since Nintendo exclusives are much more interesting than PlayStation SLOP, and any live service game I like will or is already on Switch. I mean, honestly, if you already have a PC especially, I would say that's the right move, personally. But I love my Switch too, so I think it's a great little console. I love the fact that you can play it in handheld if you want to. Nintendo's been releasing a very good cadence of games. So, yeah, I would say overall, it's definitely hard to not recommend the Switch 2 over a PS5 at this point, especially if you already have a PC.
Consoles, the PlayStation 6 and Project Helix, very likely going to come out next year. And it feels like there's never been a console generation ever that has been so anti-hyped, so pessimistically looked upon. Nobody's excited, nobody's looking forward to it, even the leaks themselves. Like if you look at like articles leaking the top secret information about next gen, truly nobody cares. And I think this is beyond just price tags. I mean, very obviously, sounds like next gen is going to be thousands and thousands of dollars, but it's also beyond that. It feels like each classic generation of consoles, the graphical leaps mattered. That bigger push towards larger worlds, crazier experiences, more immersive facial animations, better voice acting, it feels like technology has stagnated in a way. While things are still getting better, there just doesn't seem to be that hunger for it. When I think about a lot of the best-selling games in the last couple of years, a lot of times they're remasters, or sometimes remakes, but most of the time it's just the original games packaged together, upscaled, and put into a new box. And I want to discuss this today because I'm not saying that graphics don't matter at all, but I almost feel like in a way, people are beginning to appreciate bad graphics, retro graphics, or even sort of miss the elder era of like PlayStation 2. But let's get into it. Hi, hope you're having a great day. If you could please give this video a like and subscribe if you haven't already. So this video is very much inspired by this interesting statement that came out this weekend by Shigeru Miyamoto, the guy over at Nintendo who obviously created Mario, Donkey Kong, Zelda, a bunch of stuff, right? Well, Shigeru Miyamoto said that he thinks that people do not care about console specs that much anymore because really...
Yeah, of course they don't. I mean, pretty much gaming has plateaued since the 360 generation. Technological innovation has basically just been used to add more pores to ugly women's faces. Like, that's about it. The AAA industry can get fucking bent, bro.
The only gameplay is really good. Gameplay is the only thing that we can create. And I think that...
Well, it's why Nintendo's games have aged so well, too, is they've always prioritized actual player experience.
Empirically, this is true. Now, some people aren't happy about Nintendo saying that since Nintendo loves to sue people and shut down fan games and patent gameplay elements and all that stuff, right? But just beyond even the messenger of it, I think just by looking at the numbers, games with great stories, great scares, unique experiences, cool indies, that's the stuff that I feel like people are talking about the most. I mean, actually, I was thinking about this right as I started filming this. Look at the most played games on Steam right now, right? A lot of them are just silly little pixel art games or Bongo Cat. And maybe you say, okay, most played doesn't count. Let's talk about, instead of looking at, Binding of Isaac being up here, maybe
it's all a bunch of fucking junk.
Let's talk about the top sellers.
I mean, I guess CSGO's fine, but not that great.
All right, top sellers. Most of these games, some of them are great graphics, like Beast of Reincarnation, but a lot of this stuff...
Beast of Reincarnation does not have great graphics. Beast of Reincarnation is like barely above 360 visuals, but it still looks good enough. For what it is, it's fine. That game's actually pretty fun, by the way. I like it thus far. I've played about 8 hours. An SNK nostalgia with the 5. I just ran around being non-clothed around my 65 acres. Much liberal. I'm back. Nice, bro. Did you do the Joe Rogan experience of getting sunlight on your bare asshole?
I don't know, man. Doesn't seem that...
Ankles behind the head, direct sunlight on the sphincter.
That crazy to me. Warframe, which is 1 million years old. Okay, look, there's Apex Legends. Shift at Midnight. A lot of these are still just little silly indie games. I don't know, when I think about a lot of this kind of stuff, I do think about, all right, these are games that are experience-focused. People aren't playing The Sims 4 because it has crazy next-gen graphics. They're playing it because these are cool, weird, cool experiences. Like Schedule 1, right? This is the thing, right? Next gen is probably going to cost $1,100 bare minimum. Are you going to be playing that for better ray tracing and better frame rates? And that's it. Really, right? We're already at peak graphical ability. I mean, so many games now are so close to photorealism. We're talking swinging around as Spider-Man is already just ridiculously gorgeous. Can you really tell me that something is going to be $1,000 more than this? And it's somehow going to be $1,000 better? No, it's not. People want cool games to play with their friends, preferably even games that are cheap to play. I do think that I'm very against all this free-to-play slop we've gotten, but I think that part of the reason that free-to-play slop has gotten so, I mean, honestly, that cancer keeps spreading is because, honestly, these big games are getting so expensive, consoles are so expensive, people want any fun game, even if it does have more downsides than upsides. Look at that. There have been multiple ridiculous price increases. Just literally this weekend, in fact, they actually just skyrocketed the price of the Xbox. This is a 40% price increase, sorry, a 30% price increase across all of Europe. $921 right now to buy a 5-year-old console. This thing used to cost $500. It has doubled in cost in 5 years. Just stop making them. What are we doing at this point?
And
now,
the crazy thing is, on eBay, they don't even sell for any more pre-owned. Like, they sell for $400 pre-owned all day, every day. So it's not even like the pre-owned market is catching up with the retail market. People just don't want these fucking things across the board.
People are very mad about Paul Tassi saying this, but I hate articles like this. The year of the $500 console is dead. The RAM crisis may never end. The era of affordable...
The $500 console's dead? Meanwhile, Nintendo's at $450, but, you know, again, Nintendo bad, dude. Do we need to drop the price on PS5 and Xbox now?
Gaming hardware is gone for good. Now, this is definitely not true for a couple reasons, right? They're still budget pre-built PCs. They're not going to be that fantastic. They're going to be pretty low power. There is the Nintendo Switch 2, which is surprisingly good for, you know, how cheap it is. It does actually get pretty decent performance.
I love how he tried to hide the community note, pointing out the Switch 2 is less than 500.
I think I hate the idea that it feels like this post-ad hoc justification. Companies saying, well, everybody else is raising their price. I have to raise my price. Oh, the raw chips are going up. I have to just jack it up and jack it up and jack it up.
Yes, you do. You can only... What the fuck does he... Yes, Dreamcast guy, you have to raise the price if your production costs go up. If it costs you, you know, I don't know, this is a shitty example, but let's say he pays $2,000 for his editing software to make YouTube videos. So he has to make at least $2,000 worth of YouTube videos in a month to pay for his expenses. If your editing software, again, shitty example, but, you know, run with it, goes up to $4,000 a month, what option do you have as a company? Well, you have to find a way suddenly to make double the amount of money to cover your cost basis, not to mention make a profit. So, yeah, you can't just fucking sit there and eat production costs indefinitely. That's how you go bankrupt. Like, companies aren't here to just sit there and lose money for the foreseeable future. So, if you have to up the price of your console due to component pricing, there's not really much you can do about that. You're not setting the price of the chips that you're buying. So, the supplier's doing that. You know, if a restaurant can buy a steak for $15 and then they sell it for $25, but then all of a sudden their supplier at Cisco saying, well, now it's $30 a steak, they're not going to keep selling the steak for $25 because they're going to lose money on it. They're going to have to up the price to $40. So that's just fucking basic business.
You know, PlayStation admits they just had their most profitable quarter ever because of the price increases, because of all the tariffs and other business. They're saying, oh yeah, we got it.
No, they got a tariff refund. That's not because of the tariffs. It's because they got a massive refund on the tariffs. It has nothing to do with operations.
A big budget refund. So yeah, we made more money than ever on hardware. We're going to continue to keep the prices as high as they possibly can be, and our excuse is going to be graphics. And I just feel like, in general, next gen, even if this stuff managed to somehow be cheap, right? Even if somehow they managed to make this $700, $600, right? Let's say that somehow it's the same cost as current gen, or even like, I don't know, a penny more than current gen, right? Even then, I just don't think that people care about the value proposition when it comes to power. I just think that a lot of the stuff, right, no amount of Twitter cope will ever make this look bad. And people are pointing out, you know what, these graphics don't look bad. It's not that graphics don't matter, but look at that. Graphics are not a replacement for good gameplay. I mean, I'd argue that I actually kind of like the gameplay of the Halo remake. I think sprint and stuff feels great, but this to me, on its own...
Sacrilege! I like the sprint too.
This does not say, hey, here's a game that's worth thousands of dollars. This to me is just another cool experience, like every other cool experience, right? Nothing about this feels that special, right? To me, this almost feels indicative about the failures of current gaming, which is fluff over substance. So many games are just trying to be more beautiful rather than more fun, more engaging, more epic. Recently, we had the Black Ops 1 and 2 ports. I did not buy the Black Ops 1 and 2 ports. I'm honestly just not the biggest Call of Duty fan. Honestly, I also didn't buy it because I had a feeling they'd get completely flooded with hackers immediately. Surprise, they got completely flooded with hackers immediately, so the game's already dead. But the thing is that these lobbies do not have 120 FPS. They don't have any FOV sliders. They don't have any graphics updates. They don't have anything. They're just bare bones ports. You know what? The leaks are that this sold millions and millions and millions of copies. Now,
I think 5 million each, at least.
You could say that's nostalgia. That's old school fans of,
Absolutely.
original COD missing the good old days. But I almost think that it's a sign beyond that. I like to listen to people that are much younger than me, right? I'm 40. A lot of times I like to talk to and listen to people that are like in their 20s, especially their early 20s, about their outlook of gaming. Because I think that that's such a unique viewpoint to me. It's very different from my own. The people that literally grew up with the PlayStation 4, people whose first console ever was an original Nintendo Switch. Those people now are grown up. They have jobs. They have fungible income. They're buying stuff. And what do they talk about? They feel like they've missed the good old days. They feel like they've missed the best era of gaming. People, when they hear the stories that we tell of 20 years ago of playing Black Ops 1 on the PlayStation 3 and playing those original COD Zombies maps and stuff, they feel like they missed the best era of gaming. I do think that's part of the reason that so many classic games are selling so much. So many, like the Turok Collection, straight up bare bones remasters. So much of these games are the top selling games, and it's not just, old fogies rebuying the classics that they grew up with. Instead, I think it's a lot of kids that didn't have a chance to experience that, seeing it and saying, yeah, man, maybe things did used to be better, right? I saw this going around. PlayStation 6 will have no disc and almost no exclusives. Here's the crazy thing. PlayStation 1, 454 exclusive games. PS2, 514. PS3, 180. PS4, 58. The PlayStation 5, 13 exclusive games. And this is the caption that has been burning a hole in my brain. You could play PlayStation 2 for the rest of your life and never run out of unique titles.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. That's cope.
Confounds me why Sony never pushed for better backwards compatibility. And you know what? This weekend, in fact, yesterday...
That's massive cope, bro. There's not that many PS2 games that are actually worth playing. Most PS2 games are literal fucking shovelware. Like, that is a massive exaggeration.
All day yesterday, me and my buddies were just sitting around playing PlayStation 2. We were playing Burnout 3 Takedown, the crash mode specifically, taking turns over and over and over again, getting into big silly car accidents, and just rolling on the...
That's like saying the PS4 has 10,000 games. Yeah, of those 10,000, how many are just literal asset flip garbage? Like 9,000, probably?
Ground laughing, right? And it's that game... It may have aged graphically. It's still fun as hell. I'll play a 480p game, sloppy upscaled, 7 days a week if it's fun to play. So many games now are obsessed with this power output, thinking that more graphics will lead to more hype, more conversation, more trailers, because that was an era. I'm not even going to deny, part of the reason that these systems sold so well originally, the reason the PlayStation 5 sold like a rocket straight out of the gate, wasn't just the goodwill they built up for the PlayStation 4, it was all that trailer footage. It was all the times of, hey, here's a Spider-Man game so much better than the original, the old school wouldn't even run it, right? That graphical leap did sell stuff. Empirically, we do know
Spider-Man was a graphical leap? I don't think so, man. Spider-Man 2 was not a graphical leap at all. It looks the exact same as the original Spider-Man game on PS4. Let's see. So, SNK Nostalgia with the 2. Imagine Cisco crab food. Yeah, that shit's nasty. That's what's super, like, crazy about, restaurants and that whole industry is everybody sells the exact same Cisco garbage, regardless of where you go. It's the exact same food every single place, but, you might pay $10 for chicken nuggets at one place versus 20 at another, but it's the same freezer food. In SNK Nostalgia with the 5, go outside with a good drive to get a great cheeseburger. Yeah, go to Five Guys. Worth it.
Because you can look at like the trailer number views of certain games and then look at the sales numbers, there is definitely a graphical importance. But now that we've hit the ceiling, I do think that it's better to go down. I think it is better to literally chase those cool experiences that make people want to play them. I also think that part of it comes down to dev time. It sucks when you play a game, it's super fun, and you can't play the next one for years and years and years. Sorry, 5 years, 7 years it takes to make every single little particle and pixel. Sorry, we can't release this game because the little snow effects aren't good enough yet. I think that people would rather take games with worth graphics if we can go back, if we could go back to getting like an entire trilogy of games in one console generation. One of the games right now that I've been playing a lot is Raven's Watch. I've been playing a lot of games on Steam with my friends this week. Raven's Watch, not the best graphics. I got it for $11 on a Steam sale. It's just a top-down, super basic, repeated maps, repeated bosses, thrill ride. I love it. And this isn't like some ad for freaking Raven's Watch. It's the fact that that game being so fun, even if it is repetitive and basic and has annoying voice lines they scream into the mic, it feels indicative to the current era of gaming's best. Fun experiences with friends. And it's something I feel like is missing in this conversation about next
Friends?
What's that like? Not like everybody knows what that's like at all, huh? Jay, what's that like?
next gen.
Must
Beyond
be
price
nice.
points and specifications and leaks, to me, it's that it's lacking that originality. One of the games that I see people talking about in the Final Fantasy fandom right now is this fan game called Final Fantasy Black Moon Prophecy. And it's a straight up completely free, little teeny tiny fan game that's great. It's just tiny, it's great. And a lot of people are saying that's the best Final Fantasy in years. How weird is it that this game is getting so much conversation?
I'm forwarding this over to my contact at Square Enix.
So much hype over the fact that there are Final Fantasies to play. There's new Final Fantasies and old Final Fantasies. This feels like it's more than just nostalgia. It's more than just, I want to replay the same games over and over and over again. It's about the future. It is that at this point, I would rather take a good game that looks bad over another mediocre masterpiece that looks like it's in 4K 200 FPS. Maybe that's just me, but I just feel like the eternal chase for graphics, the wall has already been hit. And I think PlayStation and Xbox are going to find that out the hard way when next gen starts. But that's just some off-the-cuff thoughts. How do you feel about the future of PlayStation, the future of Xbox, and the future of consoles in general? Do graphics really matter that much? Or am I really kind of cherry-picking a more nuanced argument? Tell me your thoughts in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and please keep dreaming and keep playing retro games. You know, retro games, there's a lot of great emulators out there.
Thanks so much for watching that video. If you want to see something else, you can always click this link to see what I put up last, or, you know, subscribe and see what's coming up next. Also, I promise that whatever I do, it'll try not to suck.
After all the shit he talked about, the Switch 2, this POS has the GAWD, the Switch side, exactly. The only consistency is the inconsistency, man. Guys, we're fucked. Oh my god, this is totally not AI.
In February of 2025, the European Space Agency did something that only happens a handful of times a year. They pulled rank on the James Webb Space Telescope. Every research team on Earth waits months,
Dude, who actually believes this shit?
sometimes years, competing through a formal review process for a few hours of Webb's time, one of the most oversubscribed scientific instruments ever built. This request skipped the line entirely, approved within days, because a rock discovered 7 weeks earlier had just been given the highest chance of hitting Earth ever recorded.
Dude, who actually fucking falls for this dog shit? Boomers. Oh, wait. Oh my god. Dude. It's all so tiresome, man. Free money glitch? Yeah, pretty much, man. Seems to be the case. An SNK nostalgia with a 2 cowboy hat Idaho time. Nice, man. Hope you have a good time. Men won't even say hello now. Oh my god. Great dating slump. The femcel grift. I don't even think that's a femcel though. I think it's some dude.
Men. I was just having a conversation
Yeah, it's just one of these TikTok compilations.
with my younger sister. She just came back from the Dominican Republic, and she said to me that she liked that men in Dominican Republic are much more assertive. That when they like
Yeah, because they want a green card, you dumbass.
you, they let you know. First of all, they're looking at you, and they're looking at you with desire, with lust, with like, I want you. And she really liked that.
Yeah, because you're a wealthy American.
She said, I enjoyed that. She's like, men in the US, you really have to keep like glancing their way and giving them a ton of validation before they actually approach. Whereas the Dominican Republic, you make eye contact with them and boom, that's it. They're coming up to you. That's all that they need. And she really said, I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that assertiveness. I enjoyed that confidence. I thought it was sexy. I thought it was hot. So the question is, are men in America not assertive enough because the Me Too movement, the way you pursue, or is there another
What the fuck happened there?
assertive enough because the Me Too movement, the way you pursue?
Dude, this fucking literal... Oh my... They blurred out the fucking word kill. What? Killed? Killed is now off limits for these fucking Zog Slob compilation channels.
Or is there another reason that men are no longer approaching women in the US? What's going on here? Because I do agree with her that in other countries,
Oh,
even
shit.
myself when I used to travel to Europe or other places, I would get approached in a much more confident and assertive way, whereas the US, you do have to kind of like glance like at least 10 times at the guy for him to know that you're interested. So why is it that men in the US are not confident enough to approach women? Let's talk about it.
Respectfully, a lot of you men go through is because you chase the wrong women. I know a lot of great women, including my circle of friends, and we don't act like the little dusties y'all be chasing.
Yo, not you using my lingo. So here's the thing. I think
'cause
two
you're
things can
probably
be true.
400
I don't think you're
pounds. Yeah, all the good women that these bitches talk about are like 400 plus.
lying. You may know a lot of women who don't show you those behaviors that men are beginning to be more vocal and outspoken about. But in my humble opinion, you also have an incomplete viewpoint. Because what I don't think women realize is, these days you reserve the best parts of who you are for...
Yeah, man, we don't want some peace in the household. I hate that shit so much, bro. I'm gonna protect my peace. That's like such a... Never mind, I won't say it. It's like such a third world mentality, I'll just put it that way. Bro, what the fuck?
Animals in unexpected moments. One man
That has to be AI.
was bathing in a river when an alligator approached unexpectedly. Instead of running away, he reacted quickly, grabbed the animal by the neck, and threw it away. 2. These men found 2 seals trapped in a fishing net and decided to help. Carefully, they approached, cut the net, and managed...
Jesus Christ, I can't fucking listen to that. So much slop, bro. He's crying, guys. Guys, look. Drop dead gorgeous women for only $150? Slaves. Let's go, dude. We're bringing back the slave trade. Yeah, it's all just slop tent, bro. Dude, none of this stuff is enticing to me. Pretty slow on you. Yeah, I mean, there's not really much in the form of good clickbait stuff. Usually you can find something. Still collecting Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh cards? Oh yeah. I've got a stack of them right in front of me right now. That was the stack of cards. Yeah, I don't think there's an AI filter. Don't think there is. They have to put the little watermark up there, but I think that's it. Like that space video had it. But boomers will still fall for it. S&K Nostalgia with the 2 Irish R Army videos? What is that? R Army. What am I looking for here? This one? I'm guessing.
Who were the IRA? IRA stands for the Irish Republican Army and is the name used by several different groups who wish to bring Northern Ireland, which is currently controlled by the United Kingdom, and unify it with the rest of Ireland, although at various times they opposed both the Irish state to the south and the current British state. You can trace their existence back to 1916, when Irish Republicans wishing to make Ireland independent took over various parts of the country in the Easter Rising. However, they were soon quelled. In 1917, the IRA was formed from the remnants of those who had fought in the Easter Rising, as well as new volunteers and British Army soldiers returning from the First World War, thus creating the IRA. In 1919, when the Anglo-Irish War against the British started, they made up the backbone of the Irish forces and were seen as the national army of the new Irish Republic. In 1922, the British agreed to recognise the Irish Free State based on a treaty signed a year earlier, which would make all of Ireland, apart from the northern 6 counties, a new Irish Republic. However, the IRA was split on whether to agree to this deal or not, falling into the pro-treaty camp that did and became the new Irish government, and the anti-treaty camp that continued to fight against it, which would spark the Irish Civil War, in which the pro and anti-treaty IRA fought against one another, both continuing to use the term IRA. In 1923, this war came to an end when the pro-treaty, also aided by the British, was successful in defeating the anti-treaty IRA, which then went underground. Following the Civil War, the IRA became increasingly politically left-wing, looking towards the new Soviet power in the East as a possible way of finding arms and fighting back against both the Irish government that it recognised as illegitimate and against Northern Ireland, which remained in the United Kingdom. The IRA came to prominence again during the Troubles in the 1960s in Northern Ireland, when a Catholic civil rights movement was cracked down upon by the Protestants
Yeah, that's what I heard, is the IRA is pretty much just left-wing nowadays.
And by the British as well, and this led to sectarian violence between the communities and the eventual sending of troops by the British.
Well, they always kind of were, but...
The Catholics, as largely being Republican, were on the same side as the IRA, and the IRA increasingly became seen as the only force capable of protecting the Catholic community when relationship with the British Army soured. In 1969, however, the old political divide within the IRA came to the fore, and it split in two. The official IRA being the IRA with a dash of Marxism, the other side of the IRA being the provisional IRA, often shortened to the Provos, who were less enamored with the idea of a radical left-wing Marxist IRA, as well as the idea that they would actually sit in the seats won in political elections in both the Republic of Ireland and in Northern Ireland, which was being proposed by the official IRA. And although initially they were the smaller of the parties, by 1972, when they went on the offensive, they became the larger of the IRA. The provisional IRA, unlike the official IRA that went into politics, wanted a more militaristic approach, using attacks against British and Northern Irish police and soldiers, as well as increasingly bombings, kidnappings, and attacks against Protestants in general within Northern Ireland and later across the Irish Sea in Britain as well. They were receiving their funding from the Irish diaspora in places like the United States, as well as arms from Libya, which was sending them during the reign of Gaddafi. In 1986, there was a split in the provisional IRA, and a new group called the Continuity IRA was formed. This was because of a recent convention which had said that the long-held position of abstentionism, in which political electors that had won a seat in the Irish Dáil Parliament would not take them, would now indeed be able to take their seats if they were called upon, thus making the provisional IRA a more political rather than just militant party. And it's the case that in 1994, when a ceasefire deal was reached by the provisional IRA, the Continuity IRA broke away and in fact did not observe this ceasefire in the first place. This ceasefire came about as the British promised that they would hold to a referendum in both the Republic of Ireland and Northern Ireland on self-determination, but only on the condition that the IRA called a ceasefire, which they did, although this broke down by 1996 because of talks about disarmament that the IRA couldn't agree to, and so a new wave of bombings hit especially England, as well as a military barracks in Germany and several in Northern Ireland. However, by 1997, progress was being made towards the Good Friday Agreement, which would bring a more lasting peace and would stop with the violence of the IRA. However, the Continuity IRA would indeed continue, as well as a new group forming called the Real IRA that both promised to carry on with their attacks, although the members of the older IRA like Gerry Adams and Martin McGuinness became part of the political process with the party of Sinn Féin, which meant that the IRA was far less powerful than it had been, and by 2005 they had indeed given up pretty much all the weapons that the provisional IRA had used were being handed over and disarmed, although there were still several groups active, as in 2012 a new group was announced called the New IRA, which was a melding of many different Republican parties together, although as of yet the violence has not seen anywhere near the level that it had from the 90s and earlier, which is a very good thing for the people of Northern Ireland today.
Why can't England just gun them down? Because England is cocked. I mean, to be fair, our country's cocked too, because that's what we should have done with the BLM riots. We should have sent in the fucking chopper gunners and just lit all those fuckers up. Same thing that the Spanish should have done with that shit in fuck, what's that place called? I forget the name. But yeah, the thing that just happened where like the 50,000 Moroccans like stormed the border. They should have just gotten the chopper gunner out and lit those fuckers up, bro. So, until we actually start dealing with the problem, it's just going to keep getting worse. You know, if people actually expected that they would die for, you know, causing civil unrest, it would stop very quickly. But... Bro, what the fuck is this video? Racism in Thailand? Dude, what? We got... Hold on.
So you're thinking about relocating to Thailand?
Oh my... Dude, we gotta see this. Hold on. That's way too good of a fucking algorithm poll to not watch.
But you have a concern about racism. I know a lot is going on back in the States right now, and you're wondering, does that exist here in Thailand? Well, you picked the right video, and definitely the right channel, because we're going to explore that today, and I'm going to give you the real deal on this. But before we...
Dude, this is wild. All right, this is a good algorithm poll. YouTube. Oh my god, bro. SNK nostalgia with the 2, they gave up guns. Good, yeah. Not a good decision for your longevity, though.
Dude, guys, do me a favor. Seriously. Click that subscribe button or click that like button. Of course, if you like the content. This will help the channel grow. These videos, they really don't happen by magic, guys. So I truly appreciate the support. And if you'd like to buy me a smoothie from my favorite smoothie location, go ahead and hit that donation.
Give me
button.
money!
I greatly appreciate it. So let's go ahead and get down to this. is there racism in Thailand? Now, I've been online and I've seen this question pop up quite frequently, so that's why I want to delve into this. I have my own experiences and my own opinion on this. Now,
Dude, I don't think his camera could be any blurrier if he tried. Like, what the fuck is this?
this is a very subjective matter, and everybody has a different way of looking at this. So what I'd like to do is to first explore my baseline or my experiences in this area, in the States, so we can put that in contrast to what's happening here in Thailand. So just to take you back to when I was maybe in the 5th or 6th grade, my first experience was I was actually walking home from school one day with a group of kids, and we were just walking home, just got out of school.
Didn't do nothing.
It's a beautiful day, and we were on our way walking home, and then this car drove past us at a very high speed, and it was full of a group of kids, and they rolled down the window, and they yelled out the N-word, okay?
That totally happened, guys.
It was N-word going by 50 miles an hour or something like that. But what happened next was kind of unusual as well. My friend, who I was walking with, he heard that. He picked up a rock, and he actually threw the rock.
Yeah, a car was driving by. They shout the N-word from the window, and before the car got far enough away, your friend immediately found a random rock on the ground that was large enough to cause damage, picked it up, and then perfectly threw it at the car. Yeah, this totally happened, guys. This is an absolutely 100% factual occurrence that totally isn't just made up.
Now, when he threw the rock, I didn't think anything much of it because the car was going pretty fast and didn't think there was no way I had a chance of hitting it. But that accident, the rock went actually through the front window shield of the car. So it was a big, and they turned around and they turned around.
It went through the front window. That's like literally whatever. Yeah, you know what?
Started to run for our lives. These were
yeah, this is totally fucking made up.
We were just once again in the 5th. We were in the 5th grade, and so we start running for our lives, and we were running towards this bridge. Okay, and on this bridge, this was a near store we called Redwood on the Pony Gang, and on the bridge it was always a group of homies there. You know, the older homies that always hang out by the store, the corner store. So we're running for our lives. We're trying to get to the store, and they're following us. And then once as we got near the store, you know, they saw what the deal was, and the homies there, and they didn't want any of that smoke. So they turned their stuff around and they went on, and I guess they took care. They broke window. So that was my first experience with the word. Now, the second time wasn't necessarily being called that word. It was more of an experience. At the time, my parents were going through a divorce, and my father had just left the house and moved into an apartment complex about 10 minutes away from the home. This apartment complex was called the Hilltop Plaza Apartments. Now, once again, my parents was going through the divorce, and that was actually the start of it. That was the separation phase of it. So I was really distraught about that, like any kid would be. So one of the things I've always done, and I always have been, as a reader. You know, I read. I'm addicted to information. I'm constantly reading. Even at an early age, that was the case. So I really got into the newspaper, right? So one day during this period, picked up a newspaper, and on the front cover of this newspaper was this picture of this white guy, and he was a young white guy. He was dressed in a suit and tie, and you know, he's standing next to his Cadillac, and he had kind of like this grin, you know. So as I went to read the article was that it was a landlord being sued by the federal government. It was the largest housing discrimination lawsuit in the country at that time. Now, as I went to read on to the article, what was happening was black applicants were coming in and they were applying to rent apartments in the complex. But what the rental office was doing was they were taking the applications and they would put a C up in the corner of the application and circle that. Now, these applications were being denied. So this apparently happened enough that an investigation started, and actually the agency conducting the investigation was an agency by the name of Home Opportunities Made Equal. Well, my mother happened to be a coordinator for this agency, and she was responsible for sending out.
All right, let's skip to Thailand.
So I immediately froze when I heard it, because now I'm hearing this word again. I'm being a lot of pull, you know, on the floor, you know what I mean? So everything was cool, right? So one day, because we were like the party location for the floor, I mean, we gave the best parties, right? And that was then that I found out the whole thing was over a check that I had written for the maintenance, for some work I had done on my truck. I had taken to this Ford dealer, and now when I had the truck done, actually I had gainfully employed. I was a licensed stockbroker at the time and had a very good job. I was just maybe $40, $60 short. It was a Wednesday. I get paid Friday. And this was back in the days where you could write a check. And I told the lady at the desk, I said, listen, if this doesn't go through, you know, you could just put it back through and there'll be no problem. And she just says, okay, no problem. So that was it.
So he wrote a bad check. Wow, what a shock.
You know, Didn't hear anything about it. And also in the meantime, I had received a settlement from the insurance company for $20,000 plus that was in my account. So I wasn't really going through my account thinking about a $500 check at that point. And there was no reason why it wouldn't have gone through. So there wasn't even reason for me to look to see if it gone through. So didn't think about it until 3 years later when I got pulled over. Now, they released me on my own recognizance, and I immediately that Monday went on the road, and they were like, yeah, man, they do that. They're fishing. They're trying to see, they knew what the charge was, and they knew it was probably, nothing. So they was looking to try to get you for something else, to get you to admit to something else that they didn't know about. So once again, I had nothing else to give them. So they couldn't swing a miss on that part. So once again, I went and paid for it, and the charges were dropped, and then that was it. So from that standpoint, that was my experience in the States. Other than in the workforce, there were some issues, but I can't definitively say what that was about. I was a person who I got good jobs, and I was a good worker, and I got promoted. Always, pretty much in every job I've ever been to, I was in management, and got to that level of management. For me, there was a ceiling.
Dude, this video is about racism in Thailand, and for 24 fucking minutes, this dude has rolled off nothing but headcanon about his time in the United States. Holy shit, bro.
I was working, it's 10 years, and then they offered me an early retirement, but she's like really distressed, and I could see it was about me. So she stopped and just like let me go past, and I'm like looking like, what? And it was really kind of freaked out. And so that happened, and then it happened again. Okay, same area, same block, which makes me think it may have been the same thing. So that was very weird to me, and I've never had that happen to me, that somebody would be so paranoid that they were so freaked out about me walking behind them. And actually, I just saw an example of that on the internet, so we're going to take a minute and we're going to take a look at this. So let's check this out real quick.
It's the same thing with Indians now in Thailand, too.
So, as you can see, now this was set up as comedy and everything, and this, set up to be funny. But in actuality, that's happened to me here twice. Now, the resultant end wasn't as that was. It was all set up for comedy, but that's happened to me. Now, the other incidents I've experienced, doing this back road here, my access road to the beach, I walked past this Chinese dude once, and he just looked at me like, and it was a scowl. Like a real scowl. And I just looked back at him, and I thought, man, what is this? It was so weird that I just looked at him. He was an older Chinese gentleman. So, I just kind of let that go. So that was an incident. But the incidents that bothered me the most were the following incidents. In my building, we have elevators. At each entry point, you got a set of 2 elevators. Well, one time, my girlfriend was coming over, so I go downstairs to meet her. And so we're coming back up to the elevator, waiting on the elevator to come down. Now, walking into the area was about 10, 15 Caucasian people. They were Russians. So both elevators came down at the same time. So me and my girl walked in to the one elevator. Now, once again, there was at least over 10 people in this group. And I knew everybody was going to go fit in that elevator. So I'm standing there holding the door, expecting other people to join us in the elevator. And actually, one white kid, the young white kid, about 13, 12, maybe 14 years old, whatever, he was like, oh, no, get them right down. And they all collectively said, no. And I was like, what? And my girlfriend looked like, oh. And so I was sitting there holding the door for a little while. And I looked at him like, you better go back, So, and I looked in the mirror at them, and they're looking at me. And I'm just looking back at them, and I just couldn't believe that happened. So, close the door, and going up in the elevator, and my girlfriend, she's looking at me like, wow, she couldn't believe that just happened. So, it was something, it was more of an experience for her than it was for me. But I really was kind of like not really wanting to talk about it at the time because, I felt embarrassed in front of her. As a Black man, we have to deal with these type of things. And it was not good, it hurt, And then it happened again. I was going into an elevator, and there was this young Chinese, I guess she was. She just took get an elevator, and it's that simple. Like, I sat there holding the door. She just looked at me, so I just went ahead and closed the door. So those are the type of things that I have experienced here in Thailand in regards to racism. Now, has it ever happened from anybody Thai? Nope, not at all. Never experienced that from any Thai person or anybody like that. Have I experienced it from Thai police? Not at all. They really ignore us. Just, we're not on their radar here. We're not the issue over here.
All right, well, that could have been a 5-minute video. There we go. I thought that was going to be a lot more entertaining than it was. L YouTube recommendation. Gee, like what? It took him 27 minutes to actually get to the point of a 37-minute video. That's got to be a record, bro. That's got to be a fucking record. Yeah, most of those stories are probably fake as fuck, man. Like most, you know. I done lived the racism. You know, most of it's fucking fake. I didn't do nothing. Many such cases. But alright, well, it's 8 o'clock, guys. I probably need to go ahead and hop off, so. Have a wonderful, what's today? Wednesday. Have a great Wednesday, everybody. Appreciate everybody hanging out. And, yeah, I'll talk to everyone, I guess, later tonight. Peace out, guys.